Hello my dear students, this is Tanuja Gupta. Welcome to my channel Tanuja Biostudies. In previous video we have talked about genetics part 1, in which we have talked certain terms related to genetics, as well as we have also learned about the sex determination as well as sex chromosomes, right? Okay, now in this video we are going to talk about different terms also, that is about like genes, alleles, dominant, recessive alleles, and besides of it we are going to talk about sex inheritance as well as pedigree analysis. So let's just start with first chromosomes. Okay, so first of all, as you now must be understood about chromosome. What do you mean by chromosome? It is a genetic material. Now the basic unit of chromosome is known as gene, right? The basic unit of chromosome is known as gene. Now gene is expressed in different forms, as I have already told you about this, like hair color. So hair color is differ, like some are having brown color, some are having gray or black, fine. Okay, so gene is responsible for this hair color, but gene have different forms which are known alleles, which are responsible for respective color. Maybe for brown, so there may be a one allele which is responsible for brown color, another for gray, and another for black color. So are you getting me? Different forms of a gene are known as alleles. Clear? Okay, now here in your book there is one example given, is that is rolling tongue. Okay, rolling tongue, right? So this rolling tongue feature or characteristics also because of some particular gene. So one gene is responsible for this kind of character, but some people are not able to roll their tongue. So yeah, it means that gene has two forms or two kind of allele. One allele is responsible for rolling tongue and another allele is responsible for non-rolling tongue. Clear? Understood? Okay, now next question comes, how these expression of character, it means, I mean, like if the person would be able to roll their tongue or not able to roll their tongue, how it is decided. See, whenever there is a allele, out of two allele, as you know that all alleles or genes, they are always written in a pair form. Like if an allele symbol is like A, so it is always written in this form or in this form. Okay, like any other letter you can take like this, like this. So they are always written in pair form. Understood? Okay, so alleles has two type of allele. One is called the dominant allele and another is called the recessive allele. Okay, they have two type of allele. One is called dominant allele, another is called the recessive allele. According to genetics law, dominant allele is always expressed in capital letter and recessive allele always expressed in small letter. Okay, clear? Fine. So suppose we are taking rolling tongue. So rolling tongue we are taking R as a letter. So R shows the dominant allele and small r shows the recessive allele. Understood? Now how we say that which one is dominant and which one is recessive? What happen when these alleles are present? They are present in various combinations. Like this, it is present in pair as I told you. So RR, or there may be another way, small rr, and one more way is also there, that is capital R and one small r. Okay, so in this condition which is called heterozygous, condition, these both are called homozygous. Okay, don't get confused with homologous. Homologous means same loci, same position on two homologous chromosome, that is homologous chromosome. And homozygous means if they are same allele, whether it is capital R or it is small r, if they are same allele, they are called homozygous allele. If one is capital and one is a small, it is called heterozygous allele. So in heterozygous alleles, what happen when they express, when they show their their expression or morphologically when they show their characteristics. So what happened in this kind of individual, they are rolling tongue. I mean, they are able to roll their tongue. It means that capital R is showing its phenotype. Phenotype means what? That is, it's a morphological character, okay? But small r is not able to show its characteristics in the presence of capital R, okay? So what do you mean by dominant allele? The allele which express in its homozygous state, that is all correct, but in heterozygous state also it express, and it does not allow the expression of recessive allele. Understood? What we will say, a dominant allele is what? The allele which express in heterozygous condition and doesn't allow expression of recessive allele. Understood? Okay, these are called dominant allele. Now what is recessive allele? The allele which cannot express in the presence of dominant allele, it is only expressed in its homozygous state, okay? So recessive allele, it express only in its homozygous state and does not express in presence of dominant allele is known as recessive allele. So are you clear? There are two terms, dominant and recessive. So can I say there is a heterozygous recessive allele? I mean, or can you tell me which term is right? Should I say heterozygous dominant allele or heterozygous recessive? See, in heterozygous condition, recessive allele never ever express, it only express in its homozygous state. So that's why we cannot say heterozygous recessive allele, we always say heterozygous dominant. Clear? Okay, there's one question also given in your book, why there is only heterozygous dominant state, not heterozygous recessive, because recessive allele will not express in heterozygous state. That's why we never ever say heterozygous recessive state. Clear hai? Okay, let's go further. Now next term what we were talking about, that is genotype and phenotype. So let's talk about this one, genotype and phenotype. So whatever the genetic constitution, what I am saying, genetic constitution of any gene, yeah, or you can say a set of gene of any organism, you can say of any organism is known as genotype. You can say two definition, genetic constitution of any organism or all sets of gene of an organism is known as genotype. So here we can say this is the genotype. This is the genotype. Phenotype, what does mean phenotype? That is the observable character. Okay, observable character which are inheritable, see, you have to mention this word, okay, which are inheritable is known as phenotype. So what here is phenotype? That is rolling tongue, whether it's able to roll tongue or not, that is the phenotype, that is the observable character which we can observe from outer side. Right? Clear? So you must be clear about dominant allele, recessive allele, genotype as well as phenotype. So let's go further. Okay, so after understanding these all terms, now next question comes, how these characters transfer from their parents to offspring, okay, or what are the pattern by which they get transferred to their offspring. Okay, so to study the pattern of inheritance or to study the inheritance of character from the parent to their offspring is known as pedigree analysis. What we do in pedigree analysis, we are just going to discuss about the history. Means what? We just go through the history, whether a particular child whose parents are having that particular disease or not, their grandparents are having that particular disease or not, and what are the pattern of transmission of that disease from one parent to their children and then next to their children. Okay, so this is called the pedigree analysis. So whenever we go to any doctor also used to ask whether your parents are having this disease or not, and whether your grandparents are having this such kind of disease or not. Okay, so this is all about pedigree analysis, in which we analyze whether the trait will transfer or not into the next generation. So suppose before going for pedigree analysis, there are certain symbols that you should know. See, there is one symbol is given because it is analyzed in the form of chart, so you should know these symbols. Circle shows the female, okay, square show the male. Now if male and female getting married, so this is shows marriage. Okay, if any person is infected or it having the trait, okay, then it is shows by this, like this. It is shows like this. Okay, so they are affected female and affected male, right? Okay, now if a person is male and female, they are getting married and they are having their children, so this is also shows by like this. So this is generation 1 and this is generation 2. So now let's take one example again of rolling tongue. So there are two parents, okay, mother and father, and both are able to rolling their tongue. So we are writing roller. So we are writing roller. This is mother and father. Okay, now they are having 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. Okay, out of which 1 daughter and 1 son, they are also roller. Okay, but this one is non-roller, which we have shown by this one sign. Okay, fine. So this is non-roller. Now as we have told, or I am telling you already, that rolling tongue is a dominant allele. Okay, dominant, and non-rolling is the recessive one. Non-rolling is the recessive one. So this is the non-roller, this is the non-roller, and you know recessive will only express in its homozygous state. So directly we can write the genotype of this one is small r, right? Okay, why cannot we write this one? Because in this condition small r will not express, non-rolling trait will not express, so that's why we cannot write here. Here the daughter is non-roller, so we have to write small r and small r, right? Clear? Okay, now let's talk the next thing. If small r, 2 r are coming, so there is a reason that 1 r must be coming from mother and another must be coming from father. Okay, both are contributed from their mother and father, so one comes from mother and another comes from father, so that also for sure will come from their respective mother and father. Okay, now as they are roller, so we have to put capital R over here. So now we can say that both mother and father, they are heterozygous dominant. They are heterozygous dominant. Now if we want to decide what are the genotype of other 2 children, so we can go through a Punnett square. As you know what is Punnett square, in this what we used to do, we make a square box. Now from this one, how many type of gamete will be formed? One will be capital R and one will be small r, right? Here also one will be capital R and one will be small r. So we'll write mother's gamete over here and father's gamete over here. Okay, we can shuffle also. Fine, now we'll cross it with capital R with capital R, and then we'll cross capital R with small r. Okay, again small r with capital R and small r with small r. So we are having 4 combinations of genotype of various children. So out of which one is this one, small r, small r. Now the roller one, they may be having this one character or this one. Any one may be possible. Right now we are not sure that which one genotype is there. If they are getting married and their next generation are coming, then on based of their generation genotype, now then we can decide that which one is the genotype for this particular daughter. Okay, right now we can say only capital R or capital R small r. If I am saying that father must be having capital R, okay, if I'll say that father will have capital R, so I'm putting father's one over here, capital R. Now if this capital R cross with this one, it will be capital R, and this one will be capital R, small r. So what will be the phenotype? If you will observe, the whole or you can say all children will be what? Roller. Okay, they are able to roll their tongue. No one will be non-roller. But as we are getting 2 type of reason, 2 are having rolling tongue and 1 is non-roller. So this condition is not getting by this kind of combination. So that's why father cannot be homozygous dominant. It is always heterozygous dominant. Are you clear? So that's why we are taking capital R and small r. Clear? Okay, so there are so many examples, other examples, trait examples are also given in your textbook or tabular form. I am sharing here also. So you should go through all these traits, because in exam any one trait can be asked, or you can be asked about the write down the 2-3 examples of any trait which we can study through this pedigree chart or pedigree analysis. So you should know about it. Okay, so now let's take one more example which is given in your book. There are 2 pedigree chart is given. Example is given, that is earlobe. Okay, so this earlobe, whether it is a free or it is attached. So there are 2 character, 2 alternative. Free earlobe is denoted by this one sign and attached earlobe is denoted by this one. Okay, so it is given in this one. There is a family A, this is family A and this is family B, right? Okay, so your question is what? First of all, that decide which trait, free earlobe or attached earlobe, which trait is dominant and which one is recessive. That you have to decide. You have not told already. You have to decide and then write down the genotype of whole family. Okay, so if we are going to decide whether the trait is recessive or dominant, how we will decide? Suppose we are denoting by earlobe, so we are denoting by E sign. Okay, so E and small e. Okay, now let's take that free earlobe is dominant. Okay, so this is the free earlobe and this is the attached earlobe. Okay, now your question comes, why we are taking capital E is free earlobe, why don't we take capital E is as attached earlobe? Okay, so there's a small reason behind it. See, attached earlobe is this one family. Here the whole family and the children, they all are affected. It means it is dominant trait. If we are taking that this trait is dominant, attached earlobe trait is dominant, then this things is following in this one family. Let's come to family A. Here attached earlobe is expressing in these 2 children, but their mother does not have any trait of that attached earlobe. If this one is dominant, if this trait is dominant, then it should be present in the male or female or mother or father also. See, dominant trait never ever skip the generation. It always present in every generation, right? What I'm saying, it never ever skip the generation. It doesn't mean that in one generation it is not present, in another generation it again express. It is not like that. If it is a dominant trait, I'm repeating again, if it is a dominant trait. So because in parents it is not expressing and suddenly it express in their children, that's why attached earlobe we cannot take it as the dominant trait. We have to take it as a recessive trait. So it is the recessive and it is the dominant. Okay, so let's see whether this one things also follow or not. Okay, so what I am saying, free earlobe is the capital E and this is the small e. As you know, recessive trait is expressed in its homozygous state, so we'll directly write down here small e. Okay, clear, because this trait is expressing and it is recessive trait which is expressing only its homozygous state. Now if we are writing small e, that also clear that one e comes from mother and another e comes from father. So one e will also we will have to write here, and another we will write capital E. Now let's see what are the different combination getting formed. So again we'll make a Punnett square. Here two type of gametes will form, capital E and small e. Again two type of gametes will form, capital E and small e. Let's cross each one, capital E, capital E, small e. Again capital E, small e, and small e, small e. So this is small e we have written over here. Now here in these three conditions, any one condition can be possible, whether capital E or capital E, small e. Here also any one condition can be possible, that we cannot assure right now. Okay, and here small e, this is the recessive trait. So because both mother and father homozygous recessive, so definitely all children will also having this recessive trait. So are you clear about it? Then why I have taken, or we have taken, attached earlobe as the recessive trait, not the dominant one? Because if it was dominant, then it should be present in the parent also, which is not shown over here. Okay, so I hope this example is clear to all of you. Now let's take the next type of inheritance, that is called the sex link inheritance. Okay, if you are clear about this video, please hit the like button also and subscribe this channel also. Okay, and yes, one more thing, please press the bell icon also, then also you will get my all the upcoming notification. Okay, so let's take sex link inheritance. Okay, now what does it mean? That means that inheritance of any trait which is present on the sex chromosome. Now you know two type of sex chromosome are there, X chromosome or Y chromosome. If any trait or gene for any trait is present over this X chromosome, that we generally use to denote by like this or like this. Okay, it means that particular trait is present on the X chromosome. So first of all, let's take the X-linked inheritance. Okay, now X-linked inheritance is shown in which kind? Like hemophilia, color blindness. Okay, these are the trait, or you can say disease, in which the disease is only because of the X-linked inheritance, in which this trait, the gene responsible for this disease or this trait is present on the X chromosome. Okay, and one more thing, this trait is always recessive in nature. Okay, what? Hemophilia and color blindness, the gene responsible or allele responsible for this hemophilia and color blindness is recessive in nature. It means it will express only in its homozygous state. It will not express in its heterozygous state. I'll show you. If this is the female, there is a certain position. If I am showing, suppose, color blindness, anyone we can take. Hemophilia, what does it mean? Hemophilia means what? There is a certain kind of enzyme or protein is absent, due to which blood clotting does not take place. So if any cut taken place in any human body, then it will not stop, and due to excessive bleeding the person may get died. Okay, and color blindness is what? The person is not able to discriminate in between green color as well as red color. Okay, so that is the color blindness. Both diseases are mostly or mainly expressed in males only, not in females. I'll tell you why it is so. First of all, let's understood this one. This is the female one, X chromosome. Now if color blindness trait is present, I'll show like this. Okay, so if I show like this, then only it will express, the person will be color blind. Okay, color blind. But if I show like this, it is present only on only one X chromosome, the person will be carrier. Person, or you can say the women will be carrier, and this is the normal woman. Okay, carrier means what? The trait will not express, the woman will carry this trait and will transfer to its next generation. And in case of male, if this is shown, the person or the male will become color blind. Okay, so can you see, for a female to be color blind, both or trait should be present on both X chromosome, then only the female will be color blind. But in case of male, only one X chromosome should be having this trait, then the male will become color blind. So only single X chromosome is able to make the man color blind. That's why male are more prone or mainly affected by this kind of trait rather than female. Clear? Okay, so let's take different combination or different cases. What would happen if they will get married and the trait will express in their children or not. Okay, these things please keep it in your mind. Now let's take, see, there's a one case. What happened if in this case there is a normal women, okay, get married with a color blind man. Okay, so we'll see how these are inherited, how these are transferred to their next generation. Normal women, it will be normal XX, and color blind man will be XC. Okay, now they are producing two type of gamete, both are normal, and they are producing this one gamete and this one gamete. So if we'll make a Punnett square of this one, okay, and we'll put all these gametes. So let's put male one here and female one here. Let's cross this one. Okay, then XY, then XC, and then XY. So what you will observe, when they are getting fertilized and produce their generation, or so what happened, two female will be a carrier and two boys, or you can say male, normal. Okay, so what have you observed, that parent, in which parent, father was having the trait and he transferred his trait to the female or to the daughter. Okay, what I am saying, this is mother, this is father, this is daughter, this is son. Father is transferring the trait to the daughter, not to the son. Both sons are absolutely normal. Female is also normal, but she is a carrier now and she will transfer this trait to its next generation. Clear? In this case, clear? So you can be asked about all possible outcomes and you have to tell these all possible outcomes. Clear? Now let's take the next case in which the mother is color blind. Okay, so if I am saying the mother is color blind, so directly I am putting this is the mother and she is color blind, and father is normal, and if they are crossing or mating, how what kind of combination can you calculate? Please calculate with me. So two type of gametes will get formed over here, and here X and Y. I am crossing directly with this one. Okay, so XCX, sorry, now this one, now I'm crossing this with Y, and now crossing with this one. Okay, please do let me know by this way, are you clear or not? Otherwise I will always show in a Punnett square form. Okay, so what will you say? This is the girl child, but she is a carrier. She is also a carrier, girl hai. Both boys are affected, or you can say they are color blind. So what happened? What have you seen? That if mother is a affected one, or she is a color blind, then she transfer her character or trait to the son. Okay, she also transferred to the girl also, but girl may, what happened in girl, they are carrier, so it does not express, but both boys are affected due to the transfer of trait from their mother. Okay, let's take one more case in which what happened, the mother is a carrier. Now mother is a carrier, so I'll write like this, and father is normal. So let's see, two type of gametes will form over here, here also. Now I'm writing all possible outcome. First of all by this, okay, then by this. Let's take this one, and now let's take this one also. Okay, so what have you observed? One girl will be a carrier, one girl is normal. Okay, again one boy will be affected, or you can say colorblind, and one boy is absolutely normal. Okay, clear? Okay, and if I have taken that the father is also colorblind, so this will be a colorblind father, this will be a colorblind father. So what will be the possible outcome? This one will become this. Okay, then if I write this one, it will become like this. And so here also what will you observe, that female also or girl child also become affected. So what have you observed from all the cases? It's what mother is always transferring its trait to son, and father transferring its trait to daughter. So they're making a crisscross pattern. They're making a cross pattern. So that is why X-linked inheritance is also known as the crisscross pattern. Clear? This is also called as the crisscross pattern. Okay, if we'll say clear about it, right? So let's take the next one inheritance, that is the Y-linked inheritance. Okay, so in Y-linked inheritance what happened, whatever the allele is responsible for this particular trait, it will present on Y chromosome only. Like for example, hypertrichosis, there's a one kind of disease in what happened, so many hair comes or grown on the ear, that is only present in the male. And baldness, okay, baldness, this removal of hair from the forehead is also present in males only. So these two traits which are only Y-linked trait, which are expressed only in male, because it is present on Y chromosome, and Y chromosome is only present in male, it does not present in female. So it never ever transferred to female, it always transferred from male to male. Okay, so this is all about sex-linked inheritance. We have talked about allele, sex-linked inheritance, as well as pedigree analysis. In next video we will talk about all the Mendel laws, how he performed all different kind of his experiments. Okay, till then if you have any doubt in this video, please put your query in the comment box, and if you really understood this video, then also please let me know through comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video.